Hello, Chris Hanbury from Serious Squash, and just going to post a little short video on a kettlebell exercise. This is not a kettlebell, I don't own one, but I was at the gym doing one, and I see, or it's pretty evident that like I have a problem with that right hip. It's super tight, so it's sometimes a good way to find different kind of limited ranges of mobility or range of motion. So the exercise I found mine was kind of doing this one where you're down here, you come up like this to here, like this, back here, up, and then you go back down. So that side was fine, and then when I go to the left side, there's definitely a big kind of issue right in here where it's really tight, and I'll show you kind of where it is and see if you can see the difference. So it's when I come back down, so I'm here, down, okay, this part's okay. And now when I go for my hand here, like this hip, I just can't, like, okay, you can see how tight that is. It's just staying right in this line, and it's not, can't go over. So I don't have, not sure what it is, but so I try to go down for this part, and this is where I'm always now just using my arm to hold up the kettlebell because I haven't got my hips in a line. So as you can see, when I come to this side and I'm in that same position here and I come down, like hips are much more flexible, able to kind of hold a better pose. Okay, so again, if I'm up here, come down to this position, over here, okay, good range of motion through my left hip, which obviously I don't use as much in squash. And now right side, come down and having trouble. I feel like I'm staying completely upright here and just going like this. Okay, so a little bit different than this side where I actually have that range of motion to come down, bend in my hips instead of just my back. Okay, so again, coming here, just really bending it up the trunk here, right? Not down at the hip. I really don't have that range of motion. And you might say, oh, whatever, doesn't matter. But again, if you can't do that, then I'm gonna have troubles in my lunges as well. So when I'm moving in the squash court, if you see any of my recent clips of playing some rallies, like you'll probably see that like under pressure that I don't have the range of motion here to actually get lower in my hip, so I'm going to be bending more with my back. And it's not a lack of core strength in this case, it's more of the lack of range of motion in my right hip. So I thought it was pretty interesting. I'll see if I can fix it, and I think, you know, you can try that test and see if you can feel a difference side to side. I filmed it in slow motion, or my trainer did, so it was easy to break down the left versus the right and see the challenge. And all it takes is adding a little bit of weight. I used a really small kettlebell and just held it kind of upright, so it was more about the balance. So the right arm I would do it and it would feel really comfortable, and then I go to the left one and it's all shaky, and I thought it was my left hand, but when we looked at it in slow motion, you could see that it was just the hip not moving. And it was a good little test to see if you maybe have the same problem if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, then probably the left hip. So I will keep you updated if I find a good solution, if I can maybe just stretch it out even more than I have been, or maybe, you know, I don't know, gotta start doing some yoga or something more intensive. Okay, so